Hello, brothers and sisters. It is now a little past midnight on February 14th of the year 2015. My name is Leonard Clark, and I am broadcasting via YouTube here from Phoenix, Arizona. And I just wanted to tell you, or rather thank you, brothers and sisters, those of you who called in or spread the word about what was going on today in an apartment complex in the city of Glendale, roughly located at the main crossroads of 75th Avenue and Glendale. Unfortunately, about 19 tenants of this one apartment complex, an alleged slum lord, had let the parts of the apartment run into such disrepair that the city of Glendale said, hey, we've got to get these people out. Well, unfortunately, they gave these citizens notice the same day that they had to leave. This apartment complex generally looks to be comprised of people who are elderly, disabled, low-income residents. So approximately 19 of them were told that they had to get out and they could not sleep in their own apartment. They were given a sheet of paper by the city of Glendale yesterday saying, well, here's where you can find homeless shelters. But yet these city officials would have to have been blind to know that most of them didn't have cars, were either too elderly, in one case like a disabled veteran that was talked about in the news, in other cases to get to these houses, and had no family, these houses for homeless people. So I learned about it through the reporter named Stephen Lemons on his account about this apartment. He linked the story to another channel that went out there and did a story. And I was horrified because today I actually found out about it the day after it happened, and found out that many of the residents were sleeping outside, sleeping in their cars. So quite frankly, I and many of you brothers and sisters, my brothers and sisters who actually give a dang about people here in our community being put out on the street due to no fault of their own, we were furious and raised hell about it. We called up Cty of Glendale. We called the press. I went out there and stood with the sign saying shame on Glendale, and my belief on that still stands. Well, I was there for about an hour and was furiously doing Facebook and Twitter, along with my other friends that I encouraged to do that. And although I called the mayor and couldn't get an answer, the press came out. Well, the press had come out, but not before some city inspectors came out from Glendale and some police. The police at first were looking at me rather ominously. I was out on the sidewalk moving back and forth. And then I guess apparently after I'd been screaming and yelling, and all of you had been screaming and yelling on social media and asking what the hell is going on with the city of Glendale, they can put on a Super Bowl where you're almost inside of the stadium where they conducted it, but they can't find homes for 19 people, get them to shelters, these people being elderly and disabled. What the heck was going on? Well, with the police, I guess, and social workers, well, actually social workers came in with the police and the city inspectors at that time. Then the press arrived, and they went in and basically came out and said it looks like social workers finally arrived. Now, mind you, brothers and sisters, this didn't happen yesterday. People slept outside, and on one of the media reports I just saw, a man slept in a chair. He couldn't stay in his apartment, so he had to sleep in his chair. And yeah, you might say, well, it's not the role of government to help people put out on the street. But I disagree. When they're put out on the street in our own country, especially here, or in our own state of Arizona, in the city of Glendale, due to no fault of their own, and they're disabled, then the city of Glendale should have at least had social workers immediately and could have contacted the Red Cross, other facilities. But they didn't do anything until after we started raising hell today. So they're out there patting themselves on the back, telling the press, oh, we're out there. And I'm asking some of my friends in the press, please understand that they weren't out there until after you went out there. These people slept outside last night. So, good for Glendale if, you want your residents to be safe, but then don't bring on a humanitarian crisis when you kick people out with 6 or 7 hours notice that they got to be out of their homes with nothing except what they're carrying on their backs. Okay? These people weren't all maybe young people, and that still wouldn't have been right if they'd been young. These people were elderly and disabled people. And being a veteran myself, when I heard a disabled veteran was thrown out on the street due to no fault of his own, that really pissed me off. So, Glendale, I'm glad you've finally done the right thing. Supposedly, you've gone with social workers, community assistance program. You should have done that from the beginning. These people should not have had to sleep outside. So, the shame on you, Glendale, for that action still stands. But now, thank you, Glendale, is what I add to that statement. And I would ask all city leaders in this valley and in the state of Arizona and this country, don't let your own people go out on the street. I mean, we can spend billions of dollars for missiles and foreign aid to other countries. We can do better by not kicking our own citizens out on the street due to no fault of their own, due to alleged slumlords and people of that nature doing these things. So, again, I'm glad that the shame on Glendale no longer stands, but still, this is very sad that this happened. So leaders of Phoenix, Glendale, all of you, Tempe, Mesa, stop worrying about the Arizona Multi-Housing Association, the lobby for the apartment landlords, and start worrying about human beings. Thank you, and maybe we can get together, all of us brothers and sisters, and suggest to our city leaders that when slumlords we go after them and they kick people out on short notice, that we have social workers there. Again, thank you, brothers and sisters. This is what happens when a few of us get together and use social media. We get help for our fellow citizens. Thank you. And all of a sudden, this is what happens. The city, the politicians respond, because that's the only way they're going to care most of the time. Thank you.